So I'm starting with what I think is a weight 3 or 4 white yarn, a 4mm crochet hook. I chain 20 and I have 19 single crochets. So the end of row 1, this is the end of row 2. I chained 1, turned, single crocheted 6, chained 7, and then single crocheted 6. From here, you're going to switch to gray. Switch to this yarn, and then we'll do row 3. Okay. So I started the row by going into the side, so where you change colors, I went into the stitch on the side and then turned and slip stitched the first 6, single crocheted over the middle 7, slip stitched the last 6 stitches, and then I slip stitched into the side row to kind of round off the edges like a pair of skates. And so this is what the right side looks like, and then the wrong side looks like this because of the slip stitching. So we went from this to switching to gray, starting on the end. So when I switched colors, I went straight into this side piece, and then I turned my work and then slip stitched the first 6, single crocheted the middle 7, and then slip stitched the last 6, and then I slip stitched into that side piece to kind of round out the bottom. But here is the back and the front. I'm going to start on the bottom of the shoe, and then once I get the bottom, I will pull up the loose ends into the bottom and weave it into that. So we don't have these loose ends showing at the bottom where you can actually see the blades. But I'm going to start on that. And you're going to tie on with white. So you're going to continue on in white, but we are done with the gray now. Okay, so here's before and here is after. So what I did is a little confusing. So I tied on at the end, and I actually single crocheted over top of 2 of the loose ends, so I won't have to tie those in later. But I went all the way down, single crocheted, and then I single crocheted in 3. I did 3 single crochets in the very last stitch, and then going back, you're not going to see this top stitch, you're going to see like this second row in here, and I crocheted into that because this one, like, so I went through both these, like the front and the back loop here, and you wouldn't have to, but it's just easier for me. And then I went through like this middle loop. So going back, it was just like the first available, and then it kind of fans out the top. Okay, so what I'm talking about, so I did my single crochet on the one side, and then going back, you're going to go into like this opening. So I'm going to insert my hook into this hole and go through here. And I'm also going to crochet over any loose ends. So on this one, I'm going to get all the loose ends crocheted in so I can trim it, which will make my life a little bit easier down the road. But I'm going to go through those holes. Okay, so I have both the bottoms. This one I crocheted all the ends in, and the only downfall is that you can see the gray, but it's going to be towards the bottom of the shoe, so I don't think it'll matter. This one won't have that problem, so we'll see if it makes a difference at all. But since I need the shoes to mirror each other, I started like the row going around on opposite ends, so that like every time I end a row, I am on opposite sides. So like the wrong sides still match, but I started, like when I reattached the white yarn, I like reattached one on the right side and I reattached one on the left side, so that hopefully when I go to like make the toe part of the shoe and then go up, that when they're actually worn, the blades show on the right side and not the wrong side. But I won't know for sure if I'm correct until the very end. But now I'm going to do another row of white, and since I have the right side facing towards the inside of the shoe, I'm going to turn my work so that I'm now going to start making the right side of the stitch on the outside, if that makes sense. So you're going to hold it like this now instead of like so it's facing in. You're going to face it so that you're looking at the outside. Does that make sense? I'll show you more after the next row. So this is before and then this is after the next row. So I turn my work so that the right side is now on the outside. And then I put stitch markers in because at the end of every row you're going to do 3 single crochet in that very top stitch. So I'm just marking the middle one of the 3 so that I know that that's the stitch I put 3 into going forward. So here is at the end of row 3. You can see the difference. I think I'm going to do one more row and then see where I'm at and then start coming up and make the toe of the boot and start to figure out how I'm going to bring it over and up and how far and all that jazz. But I'm going to do another row. Got the 4th row done. This is kind of where we're at. I think I'm going to... I haven't decided yet, but I think this is the last row like this. So I'm at the same place in both of them. I'm at the same place in both of them. I'm going to figure out what to do from here. You can see I ended on this side on this one, this side on this one. So hopefully they mirror each other well. Because in my mind, like I'll end. So it's like this, then it should mirror each other. Hopefully. But I gotta figure out where to go from here. Okay. So for this one, I did increases. I did 2 increases on each side. And then this one I didn't. I just went 1 in each. And I think I like this one better. So I'm going to undo this one and then redo it. But so for these rows, I switched to black and then I did 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I did that for 2 rows. So I'm caught up to the same place in both of them now. I like it better without the increases. I'm going to do another row of black and then see where we are sitting. So I didn't film the end of the ice skate making process, but I did another row of single crochets and then I started doing decreases along the sides in the very front of the boot and then keeping the ankle portion just 1 single crochet in each stitch to make it come up. So I continued doing decreases around the toe of the boot and then single crochets up the ankle, and I just made it tall enough, and then I was doing 1 single crochet in each stitch to just kind of raise up the ankle, and then I just added on some strings to make it look like laces, and that was it.